The atmosphere around this Patriots versus Jets matchup feels unpredictable, and that is exactly what makes it so intriguing. On one hand, there's a real sense that New England has the talent and momentum to completely control this game from start to finish. On the other hand, anyone who follows the National Football League closely knows that no game is ever guaranteed, especially in a divisional clash where emotions run high and familiarity changes everything. This is one of those Sundays where confidence and caution need to exist side by side, because the Patriots have shown they can dominate, but they have also shown moments where small mistakes turn into long afternoons. A lot of that confidence starts with how this roster has evolved over the course of the season, particularly with the growth of Drake May. Watching him command the offense now compared to earlier in the year is night and day. He looks calm, decisive, and most importantly, he elevates the players around him. The throws are coming out on time, the reads are sharper, and there's a growing sense that this offense believes it can score every time it touches the ball. That belief matters, especially in games like this where early momentum can flip the entire script. Defensively, the Patriots still carry an identity built on discipline and physicality, but there are conversations that need to be had about recognition and respect around the league. One of the clearest examples is the discussion surrounding Marcus Jones and the Pro Bowl selection. When you watch him returning punts, the explosiveness jumps off the screen. His quickness, vision, and ability to slip through tight lanes make him one of the most dangerous returners in football. There's a strong argument that, strictly as a punt returner, he belongs among the very best. However, the reality of how selections are made often goes beyond one specific role, and in this case, versatility seemed to weigh heavier than specialization. At the same time, there's a bigger picture to consider with Marcus Jones. His development at cornerback has been too important to ignore. He is playing confident football on the outside, competing at the line of scrimmage and holding his own against quality receivers. Asking him to take on additional responsibilities returning kickoffs could introduce unnecessary risk, and this team cannot afford to disrupt something that is clearly working. Recognition is nice, but winning games and staying healthy matter far more, especially with the postseason approaching. Health, in general, has become a major talking point as the schedule tightens. Every snap now feels heavier, every collision more significant. Injuries have piled up in key areas, and while depth has helped soften the blow, there is no denying that wear and tear is starting to show. That reality feeds directly into conversations about workload management and how aggressive the coaching staff should be if certain goals are locked in early. The idea of limiting snaps for core players is not about fear, it is about preservation, especially when the margin between success and disappointment in January can come down to who is still standing. Offensively, another fascinating layer is how opposing defenses are being forced to make uncomfortable choices. Stefon Diggs continues to demand constant attention, and that has not changed even when his stat lines fluctuate. Defenses understand that leaving him in single coverage is an invitation for disaster. What has changed is how other receivers are capitalizing on that attention. Matt Collins, in particular, has benefited from the gravity Diggs creates. The separation he finds and the production he delivers are closely tied to the quarterback play. Drake May's accuracy and timing are turning contested windows into manageable throws, and that makes life difficult for defensive coordinators trying to pick their poison. When Diggs saw his snap count dip in recent weeks, his impact naturally followed. But as soon as that workload climbed back up, the offense regained another dimension. It reinforced the idea that usage matters just as much as talent. Keeping your best players on the field, within reason, maximizes pressure on the defense and opens opportunities across the formation. This balance is delicate, but when it clicks, the Patriots look like a team that can dictate matchups rather than react to them. Zooming out to the bigger picture, the dream scenario for this team is clear. Securing the top seed in the conference would change everything, granting rest, home field advantage, and a direct path deeper into the postseason. The challenge is that this goal is not entirely within New England's control. Winning out is the first requirement, and that alone is no small task. Every opponent brings its own challenges, and complacency is punished quickly in this league. Beyond that, external results must fall the right way, turning the final weeks into a waiting game filled with scoreboard watching. That uncertainty does not diminish the ambition, though. This locker room believes it can compete with anyone in the conference. There is no fear of matchups, whether it is a physical defensive team or a high-powered offense. The confidence stems from preparation and from seeing tangible growth week after week. Still, there are flaws that cannot be ignored, and the red zone defense stands out as the most concerning. Allowing opponents to convert such a high percentage of red zone opportunities puts unnecessary strain on the offense and limits margin for error. Improvement there is not optional. It is essential if this team expects to make a serious run. As the season pushes forward, every decision feels magnified. How long starters play, how aggressively injuries are managed, and how momentum is maintained all feed into one ultimate objective. The Patriots have already proven they belong in the playoff conversation. Now the challenge is sharpening the details, protecting their playmakers, and navigating these final weeks without sacrificing long-term goals for short-term satisfaction. As the conversation shifts toward potential postseason matchups, it becomes clear that this Patriots team is not approaching January with hesitation. There is a growing belief that New England can line up against any opponent in the conference and feel confident about its chances. That confidence does not come from arrogance, but from understanding how complete this roster can be when it plays disciplined football. Every potential matchup brings a different challenge, yet none feel overwhelming when this team is executing at a high level on both sides of the ball. Some opponents rely heavily on elite defenses, others on explosive offenses, but the Patriots have shown they can adapt. Against teams built around physicality and pressure, the offensive line has steadily improved its communication, allowing Drake May to operate without panic. Against high-scoring offenses, the Patriots have leaned on situational defense and timely takeaways. This adaptability is what separates contenders from pretenders, and it is why fans are starting to envision deeper playoff scenarios rather than simply hoping to sneak into the bracket. Still, not every aspect of the team has reached that elite level, and the red zone remains the most glaring concern. Allowing opponents to score at such a high rate inside the 20-yard line puts the defense in an unfair position. Long drives that end in touchdowns drain energy and force the offense to chase points. While there has been slight improvement week to week, the standard needs to be much higher. Tightening coverage, improving communication, and winning first contact at the line of scrimmage are non-negotiable if this team wants to survive against playoff-caliber offenses. At the same time, it is impossible to talk about the Patriots without circling back to Drake May and the effect he has had on the entire organization. His presence has stabilized the offense and injected belief into the locker room. Teammates trust him, coaches trust him, and opponents are starting to respect him. He does not look overwhelmed by pressure moments, and that calm demeanor spreads. Even when plays break down, there is a sense that something positive can still happen, which was not always the case in recent seasons. That trust also shows up in how receivers are playing. Routes are sharper, effort after the catch is more aggressive, and contested balls feel winnable. This offense no longer looks like it is simply trying to survive. It looks like it is trying to impose its will. When defenses overcommit to stopping one threat, another steps up. That kind of balance is dangerous, especially late in the season when defensive units are dealing with fatigue and injuries of their own. Speaking of injuries, the growing list cannot be ignored. Several key players have been banged up, and some have missed time at the worst possible moment. Concussions, muscle strains, and lingering joint issues have tested the depth of the roster. While next man up has been a familiar mantra, there's a point where preservation becomes the smarter play. Every coaching decision now carries long-term consequences, especially when the playoff picture is already taking shape. This leads naturally into the debate about resting starters if certain milestones are reached. If the Patriots secure their division early, the temptation to protect core players becomes strong. The risk of a meaningless late-season game outweighing potential benefits is real. Football is unforgiving, and one awkward tackle can alter an entire postseason run. The coaching staff must weigh rhythm against rest, sharpness against safety, and there is no universally correct answer. However, given the current injury landscape, caution feels increasingly justified. Another layer to this discussion is the lack of total control over playoff seeding. Even if the Patriots take care of their own business, they still need help from other results to move up the standings. That uncertainty makes it harder to justify pushing stars deep into games that may not change the final outcome. Winning a game, but losing a key contributor would feel like a hollow victory, especially if seeding remains unchanged. Despite all of this, the mindset inside the building appears focused and grounded. There is no sense of panic, only urgency. The players understand what is at stake and what still needs to improve. They are not chasing individual accolades or external validation. The goal is clear, and every practice, every film session, and every rep is being approached with postseason intensity. Looking ahead, potential championship paths are being debated, but there is no obsession with choosing an easy road. The Patriots believe that if they play their brand of football, matchups become secondary. That belief is powerful, but must be backed by execution. Mistakes that can be survived in December often become fatal in January. Penalties, missed assignments, and red zone lapses will not be forgiven against elite competition. This is the stage where leadership matters most, both from veterans and from the quarterback. Keeping emotions in check, maintaining focus, and avoiding unnecessary risks will define how far this team goes. The Patriots have built something promising this season, and the next few weeks will determine whether that promise turns into a legitimate run or ends as another lesson learned along the way. With momentum on their side, the team continues to refine its identity, balancing offensive firepower with defensive responsibility. Individual stars contribute to team cohesion, while emerging leaders like Drake may set the tone for discipline, execution, and resilience. This blend of talent, strategy, and adaptability provides a strong foundation for the critical stretch run ahead. Every victory solidifies confidence, every snap offers an opportunity for growth, and every adjustment reflects the coaching staff's commitment to continuous improvement. As the regular season winds down, maintaining focus, health, and execution will determine whether the Patriots can translate potential into postseason success, keeping fans excited and hopeful for what promises to be an electrifying finish to the year. The season has been a journey of highs and lows, with standout performances, evolving strategies, and moments of adversity that test the character of both players and coaches. Throughout it all, the message remains consistent. Execute, protect key contributors, and leverage every opportunity to gain an advantage. From the meticulous preparation on game week to the split-second decisions made on the field, the Patriots' approach exemplifies a blend of intelligence, athleticism, and competitive spirit. This philosophy is critical as they navigate the challenges of the final weeks and aim to carry their momentum into the playoffs, where every matchup will demand excellence, precision, and unwavering focus. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to Patriots Hub and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our New England Patriots. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a move that has sent shockwaves across the NFL, the New England Patriots have reportedly set their sights on one of the league's most electrifying talents, wide receiver Justin Jefferson. Sources close to the organization suggest that the Patriots are exploring every possible avenue to make Jefferson their new number one target, a move that could redefine the team's offensive identity. Jefferson, known for his jaw-dropping speed, precise route running, and uncanny ability to make contested catches, has long been considered untouchable by his current franchise. Yet, whispers from inside Gillette Stadium indicate that the Patriots front office is aggressively assessing options, from blockbuster trades to strategic free agent maneuvers, in an attempt to bring him into Foxborough. While no official confirmation has emerged, the speculation alone has ignited feverish debates among fans and analysts alike. If Jefferson were to join the Patriots, the implications would be monumental. New England, a team historically defined by disciplined schemes and a methodical approach to offense, would suddenly possess one of the most explosive weapons in the league. For a quarterback who thrives on precision and timing, pairing with a receiver of Jefferson's caliber could open the door to a new era of offensive dynamism. League insiders suggest that this potential pairing could shift the balance of power in the AFC, forcing rival defenses to rethink their strategies entirely. Of course, such a move would not come without significant challenges. The logistics of acquiring Jefferson, whether through trade negotiations or contractual considerations, are complex and fraught with risk. But for a franchise that has never shied away from bold decisions, the allure of adding one of the NFL's premier talents may outweigh the hurdles. Speculation is running rampant on social media, with fans imagining the highlight reel plays and explosive drives that could emerge from this unprecedented partnership. For now, the football world waits with bated breath, knowing that if this rumor holds any truth, the Patriots could be on the verge of one of the most talked-about moves in recent NFL history. One thing is certain. The mere possibility of Justin Jefferson in New England colors has already sent the sports world into a frenzy. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our New England Patriots, be sure to subscribe to Patriots Hub and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.